to another SkoCity podcast. I'm your host, BTA Rennie, aka Godson. Today we're talking about the Doula experience. And I think this is going to be a really exciting podcast. Not many people know what a doula is. I know I didn't know for a long time. But I've got some special guests here with me today. I've got Amisha Carpenter to my left. Amisha, tell us a little bit about yourself and how long have you been a doula and what does that involve for you?
Hi, my name is Misha Carpenter. I've been a doula going on 2 years right now. However, I'm a mother of 5 children. But what inspired me to be a doula was the experiences I had with birthing my own children. The lack of support, the lack of education, the lack of information you get from nurses, doctors. The hospital experiences was not very good, and I struggled deeply with postpartum depression, and I was not educated about that as well. So that's what got me into being a doula.
Okay. All right. So it kind of brought you over into the field. And, you know, I remember I talked to someone about this the other day, and I did ask him about the hospital birthing connection to the mother when the mother's having the child, how things are explained to them. And she was telling me that in a lot of cases, it's not very well explained. And that she was like, I wanted this thing to be done this particular way, and the doctor didn't hear a thing, or the nurse didn't hear nothing I was saying, and they did it their way. And she wanted to save the umbilical cord, I guess, is what you call it, but she wasn't able to. So, so I guess being a doula is kind of important. Over here we have
Jenna Fitzgerald.
We have Jenna Fitzgerald, and you know what's funny is that I actually know Jenna. We've worked together on things before, and I could not remember her name. So Jenna, I apologize.
No, you're good.
Go ahead, Jenna, tell us a little bit about you.
Well, I'm Jenna Fitzgerald. I became a doula in 2015, so I am going on, next year will be my 11th year. I actually started in Los Angeles, California. I was a single mom, and I ended up hiring a doula for my first birth, and absolutely essential. Being a single parent, she was my main rock, my main support, and I decided that I wanted to be that for other women as well. So later the same year my son was born is when I received my first certification. And then I used that same doula for my second daughter as well.
Oh, wow. Sounds good. So you started 2015.
Yes, 2015 was my first certification.
You said so you got your first certification. So what type of certifications do you need to be a doula?
Well, technically you don't need anything.
Okay.
But most doulas go through a birth type support certification. There's multiple different organizations that host those, most of them being online. They all require different things. But then there's additional certifications you can look at, such as postpartum, bereavement, lactation. The list is really endless.
So all of that's involved with being a doula.
Yes.
So is a doula kind of like a counselor then, or is it more of a midwife, or it's kind of like a dual role, or?
I would say support. We don't
Support.
give medical advice.
Okay.
We're there to support the family, to support the mom, to support the dad. And like your friend told you, her experience was bad. So we are there to make sure what mom's wishes is, what her wishes are, and what's on her birth plan is expressed and is respected.
Okay.
And she's not rushed, because that's what happened in the hospital experience.
Yeah, I mean, I know very little about births, but anyway, I just know they happen.
Yeah.
And, evidently, I'm here, right?
Sadly, that's how most of people, that's about their lack of knowledge.
No, for real.
Yeah. Which is, you know, I mean, I think it's okay because this is a learning experience. You know, we're all learning. I think that's what life is really about, just learning.
Absolutely.
So tell me, how many births have you, or what do you call them? Do you say you've had with births? How many doula experience?
How many cases?
Yeah,
How many clients?
How many clients have you had?
Yes.
And was it like, would you do it like in hospitals or at home, or what's the setting like for something like that?
Whatever the mom's desire, whatever the family desires, if they want a hospital birth, if they want a home birth, if they want a free birth.
What's a free birth?
So a free birth is when a mom does not want a midwife or anyone, and she wants to have the baby at home. Okay. So it's usually the mom and the doula and the family that's there.
Okay.
For support.
So how many times have you done something like that?
I have been able to be. I experienced it once with our other doula that's missing today. I was with her with a mom that did a free birth. It was very interesting. It was very exciting at the same time, and I can understand why moms are getting back into doing home births. It was very quiet, lights out. She started in a pool. It was very comfortable and silent and sweet. And nothing was taken away from her or the dad. He was able to experience every step with her. It was awesome.
Okay. So you started in 2015.
Correct.
So you've probably been everywhere within homes, hospitals.
Yeah.
So how many have you done over the years?
Well, I transitioned to postpartum primarily, so they've slowed down. But in grand total, I've been at 44 births, and then in addition to that, I've assisted close to 60 families postpartum.
Oh wow! So there's two sides to the doula. Then there's the initial services, and then there's services afterwards.
Yes.
So I do want to say this real quick. I think as I'm going to just call us responders because we are responders in a way. We may not be first responders, but we are, mental health responders, health responders. And I think this is one of the things that's kind of like pushed under the rug. You guys don't really get the credit or the notability that I think you should have. And so I do want to say kudos to both you guys because I think the work you're doing is awesome. And I just wish we just knew more about it. That's all. We get people out there and get them involved, So what happens like if you're in the hospital or in the home and the mother may have a specific need or high risk? How's that kind of handled
Well, if we're in a situation where it's a high risk, most of the time we know that ahead of time. So if it's a situation where like the baby is getting a diagnosis of your baby is most likely to have XYZ, our job is to help educate. So we will help if there's been situations where babies that I've worked with are getting like very unique genetic conditions that are being diagnosed. So I will do research, mom and dad will do research, we'll sit down, we'll talk about options and statistics, and we're more just like kind of a backboard, another support person so they don't feel alone. In the end, all decisions are the family. It's not about what we would do or what we think, but we help them through being fully informed and making informed choices, so they're not going to be easily manipulated by what somebody else wants. So that's a lot of the time in the hospital too, is we just want to make sure the parents are fully informed so they can make their choice that would be best for them.
Okay, that sounds good. So I guess this begs the question, what happens if you're in a situation where it's twins or multiples?
So that's actually on my dream list. I haven't personally had one. Our co-doula is Michaela. She does most of our births. She's been doing this locally since 2019. I think she's pushing close to 100 births right now.
Oh, wow.
And she just had her first set of twins this calendar year.
Oh, wow.
And they were a VBAC vaginal delivery, and it was perfectly successful and great.
Oh, wow.
But I personally haven't gotten to do one yet. It is on my dream someday list, but I have not personally had a set of multiples yet.
So now, you mentioned that you guys are a team, is that right? So what organization are you guys with? What's the name of your, do you guys have an organization or what's it called?
It's called State Line Birth Keepers.
Okay.
Actually, we was voted number 2.
Well, no, this year we were voted number 1.
Well, number 1 in the area.
Yep. The community votes for Rockford voted us platinum this year for best doulas and midwives in the area. We did take technically second last year, but first was our co-doula Michaela's individual. So we took first and second last year. And then this year we took second in home health support as well as holistic services too. So we won 3 awards this year.
Yeah.
So now when you say you took first and second, is there like a huge umbrella organization that kind of like recognizes you guys, or?
This was voted on by the local community. So people within the Rockford and surrounding areas went in and voted for us to be out of all of the doulas and all of the midwives locally.
So what organization does that, or how do you get the voting started? I mean, who does that?
It's an organization called Community Votes. They service different communities all over the nation. It's kind of like the Rockford Rocks voting,
Okay.
but it's under community votes.
I had to ask that because I have never heard that, and maybe I should go in there and start voting too as well. Though. So, when I do anything, I go back and look at the history of it, and I develop a philosophy behind what I do and the reasons why I do it. Is there a history? I'm sure there is. So, what's the history behind being a doula, and how does that history connect or it doesn't connect with being a midwife? Because you guys know what midwives are, right?
Right, correct. Correct.
Okay. So how do they connect, and what's the kind of history behind a doula, and what is your particular philosophy as would you be called a doula or dualist?
I'm a doula. I'm a birth and postpartum doula.
But birth, postpartum,
Birth and postpartum.
I'm birth, postpartum, and bereavement, but I also have additional like certifications at the system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's kind of like a history behind the whole doula? And then before you even answer that question, let's just walk it back and ask you, how did you get involved? Well, you said you I think had a friend or something or another.
I had hired one for my birth.
Okay, so that's how you kind of got. So how did you even hear about it though?
Being a single mom, I started digging my nose into research on what I can
Okay.
do. I lived a 24-hour drive from my parents. I was living in Los Angeles, and I was raised in the Midwest, so I wasn't near any of my family or any of my support system.
Okay.
And of course, you can't really plan for when a baby's come. So when was my mom supposed to get a flight to come help me? So I did a lot of research, and I stumbled upon it. And the more I looked into it, I started researching and found multiple local doulas and interviewed and found one that I ended up connecting with. Her name is Patty. We are still friends, almost 11 years later. And she really helped kind of jumpstart everything that this is now.
Okay, and then so what brought you to the doula scene? Let me just say this too, by the way, and I got to backtrack because I did hear about a doula, and I heard about it from your daughter.
Yeah.
She told me she wanted to be a doula, and I'm like, a doula? What the heck is a doula?
Yeah.
So what got you going down that road to being a doula?
Okay, so I heard the term from a friend. I had never heard of a doula before. And so after she was briefly telling me about it, I did my research on it. And me being a doula versus me being a certified nurse's assistant played right into what I do. I mean, as a certified nurse's assistant, I serve, I take care of people.
Okay.
And doula did the same thing. And it was it's taking care of mom and the baby. And so that was just like up my alley.
Okay.
Like I stated earlier, I'm a mom of multiple children. So that's what perked my interest and had me do research about it and to get certified and everything.
So is there philosophy that guides you into that area though? Or is there certain things that, goals, dreams you want to accomplish by helping people?
Okay. So when it came to that, one of my goals was to educate women and young women in our culture. Most of the time when I've talked to other women of different cultures, they knew what a doula was. I ran into more of people in our culture that did not.
African Americans?
Yes.
Who was not
And
aware of
African
it?
Americans that was not aware. And then doing research and looking at the fatality of births and a lot of African American moms not being properly treated for, I'm like, okay. I wanted to stand in the gap and be able to educate. Like, if you just having conversations and talk to young moms that didn't have no support or no family, and they in there, and the doctors and nurses is telling them all these things, and they have no information at all.
That's pretty cool, man.
That's
That's
what drives me.
pretty deep. Yeah. What about what's your guideline? What makes you want to do this kind of work?
Well, I've always just helped people. That's kind of been where my heart is. I work a full-time job that is serving the community and serving people. It's just kind of always been there. But when I was little, like you always ask what you want to be when you grow up. And my answer was always, I want to be a mom. Like that's what I want to be. And that sounds so silly now.
Me too.
That's all I wanted to do. And then when it came out, like I realized how hard this is. The world is not what it used to be. And it's hard to be, specifically, like I know I speak a lot as being a single parent, but being able to do all of the things you're required to do as a mom, as a woman, as a provider, as all of the things, it really drains on you. And to be able to be a good mom and raise good humans for the next generation, you can't pour from an empty cup.
Right.
So to help create that village for those women is huge, and that's kind of where I want to be. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to do this alone.
So you want to be at the bottom floor.
Yeah.
And make sure that at least in the beginning they've got the proper directions, the proper
Yeah.
support to go forward. That's pretty awesome too.
That's
yeah.
why one of the reasons I focus very heavily on the postpartum piece.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do overnight supports and postpartum supports to make sure that they are able to do all the things they need to do and they're not feeling alone.
So there is an area then in this where you talk about bereavement. So has there ever been a situation where you were actually there working with the mother during the birth and it just didn't go the way things wanted to go and maybe that she lost a child or?
I've been lucky that I have not personally had one that was lost immediately. I've had ones that were terminal diagnoses and passed away within a few hours or a few days, but most of those are ones that we were prepared that was most likely going to be the case. So we've had those conversations. I've also worked with adoption and surrogate families. So those, while not a death type of loss, are still a loss.
Yeah.
So I've worked with those in that situation also.
Have you had any of that?
No, I have not. A couple months ago, I did have a mom that had to do an emergency C-section because her blood pressure, they could not get her blood pressure down at all. And they kind of like rolled before I got there, but I was able to go in there and help.
Kind of calm her down.
Yes, and to be there for her for support because she wasn't ready. She wasn't ready at all. So
You run
was-
across that a lot where young, especially with young girls. I don't know if you were young girls who just really not ready for that experience and all of a sudden find themselves caught up in that and now it's time to deliver and they're just not prepared. How do you handle something like that?
I think they never think or prepare for the emotional roller coaster and emotional dip that comes with birthing a child. I don't think any of us do. So
That's what I was going to say. I was like, I don't think anyone is
any
ever
of us
fully
do.
prepared.
So like being younger or being a teenage mom, you can imagine how much more chaotic it can be.
Yeah.
And then the father's not there, and if you don't have a supportive family, it's
And if
very
you don't have the information.
Information,
and you're not-
yes.
that's where you get pushed around and you
yes, and they
Yeah.
thinking they have to do these things when
I
they
can
have a
see-
choice.
I can see a lot of kids, or a lot of young women being afraid too, going in that situation, because I mean, I'm a guy, right? But I'm thinking if my girl was gonna have a baby, I had a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I got a lot of, is my baby gonna be okay? Is the hospital gonna treat him right? But now here comes a doula in the scene. And who is this doula? Where does she come from? What kind of background? So, but I'm wondering if the young women may have those kind of thoughts too,
Well, usually if they hire us as their doula or postpartum doula, we spend time with them or talk with them
Prenatally.
Yeah, prenatally so we can get familiar with each other and have conversations. We usually have unlimited texting with our clients.
And prior to signing a contract with a doula, I personally recommend that you interview at least 3.
Yeah.
Because every single one of us have different personalities. We all have
Okay.
different things. And I want you to feel like you connect with the doula you choose. So if you don't hire me, that's fine.
Right.
I want you to hire somebody you connect with that you feel supported by.
Right.
That's one reason I love that we have the group of 3 of us.
Right.
Yeah.
And we will recommend out too, because we're not the only ones in the area.
Right.
But we all are very, very different, and
Okay.
we support a different kind of client, and we want them to get what they need.
Okay, well that so that kind of brings up another question too, because interacting with the family, that's one thing, right? And in my profession, I interact with families, but I interact with other professionals too, and sometimes I run into obstacles, brick walls, where they don't want to cooperate. So running into medical
Absolutely.
staff, is that what happens in those situations?
From my experience, the nurse can tell the mom what she thinks should happen or encourage pain medication. And I inform mom. I have had a situation where a nurse was just like, it'll be okay. We're watching her on a monitor. So if anything happened, we'll be there. Well, if mom is already in active labor, why would we give her pain medicine to slow it down? And so it was more or less. I think when they see us, it's a little bit of an attitude.
You think so?
Yeah.
I really think that depends on the professional too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I've had some of the most amazing nurses that I've worked with who are, I'm like, okay, if I ever surprise have another one, you're my girl. Like I've already picked out the whole birth and
Right.
stuff. But then I have had other ones who they immediately are like, okay, well now you're going to make this more challenging birth, and they're immediately on the defense as soon as we walk in the door. So it really depends. I will say in the last few years, they've gotten more accustomed. They're more common. So they've been much more accommodating and prepared and that kind of thing than what they used to be.
Yeah. Because we're gonna give information in all the spaces that they don't.
Because like I was talking to a friend, and like she was telling me that she felt that she was telling, I think she said the doctor, yeah, so she was telling the doctor exactly what she wanted to happen, and she felt like the doctor just wasn't even listening to her. And she said, luckily something happened, and another doctor showed up because that one had to got called away, and the other doctor actually did listen. So I do know that when professionals come together, sometimes it could be a meeting of someone's ego. You're not qualified. I have more of this than you got. And I run into a lot of that too, by the way,
I'm sure.
in my field, and I guess working around medical staff, you don't tiptoe around them though, right?
Absolutely not.
You just tell them how it is.
So we're not medically trained.
Yeah,
so a lot of our stuff is, okay, can you give us a minute to talk about
Yes.
that? And we talk to the family pros and cons. Our opinion does not get a say in the birthing experience. So what I believe, if I'm against pain medication, but the mom wants epidural, okay, let's do the epidural. Our biggest thing is wanting to make those choices as informed. So we don't want the hospital to come in and be like, hey, you're doing this. Okay, well, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Give us a minute to talk about it, and then let the family have the space so that they can talk between them and their partner.
So do they allow you guys that space though when you're in there and you say, hey, I need to talk to the patient? Will they give you that time or that room?
Normally, yes.
Yes,
But there's been some times where you'll get some huffs and puffs, and there'll be some times in emergent situations where they don't want to. But primarily what I've experienced is that they will give you that time. They may not like it, but a lot of them will give it to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've learned that Karens exist in every profession and everywhere. So you're always going to run into that one person, and you can do everything right, and they're still going to have something to say about it. So I'm pretty sure you guys run into that stuff all the time. So you guys is called, I'm sorry, what was the name of the
State Line Birth Keepers.
State Line?
Birth Keepers.
State Line. And what kind of services do you guys offer now?
We have birth, postpartum, herb.
Michaela's a certified herbalist. So we have herbs on hand. We have some aromatherapy. We have some lactation. We're not certified lactation, but we have like the beginning lactation, like beginning basics. We do birth pool rentals. So if you don't want to hire us, but you want a birthing pool to birth at home, that's an option. We do. We process your placenta after the birth. So if you're wanting to encapsulate, or if you're wanting to do different things with your placenta or your umbilical cord, and with that normally comes a placenta prints and dehydrated umbilical cord for like keepsakes. I've seen Michaela make a drum out of someone's.
I was just about to say the drum.
I love it. Out of the sack that's around the baby.
Yeah.
One of them came out perfectly well, and she was able to stretch it and make it into a drum.
Yeah, she's awesome at it.
So you guys get kind of creative too, huh?
Oh,
She's
absolutely.
awesome at it.
Absolutely. It's really cool.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that we do. I do a lot of overnight supports. So families can sleep. I'll come over at 9, 10 o'clock at night and stay till 5, 6 o'clock in the morning so parents can sleep.
You'll watch the baby while
And
they
do
sleep.
everything, and then while we're there, we'll do dishes or laundry or whatever needs to be done.
So it's
to
full
help.
service.
Yeah, it's really whatever the family needs to feel supported.
Even taking a shower,
Like if
strolling on her phone, just a moment.
Do you want me to watch the siblings so that you can bond with the baby? Do you want to watch the baby so you can shower? All of those things.
So if someone wanted to get in touch with you guys, how would they do that? Is there a number or?
So we have an email, statelinebirthkeepers@gmail.com. We are also online at statelinebirthkeepers.org. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on TikTok,
Okay.
all under State Line Birth Keepers.
But no physical location, though, most mainly.
That is
virtual.
a goal, but right now most of our clients are home-based. We go to their home in their safe place where they feel comfortable.
Okay.
So most of our services are there.
But if they wanted to, all they gotta do is Google you or join you
Yeah.
on Facebook, and you'll tell them you'll take it from there,
Yeah.
whatever they need. So you did talk about pre or post services, I guess, going into the homes, helping them out. So is this kind of like when you're actually working with a case, are you like on call 24/7 sometimes too, or can you be, or?
We can. If it's a birthing client, I personally would go on call 2 weeks before their delivery date to 2 weeks after their delivery date is a guarantee. But we do everything in our power to be there if you have a baby early or whatever. I personally never missed a birth. I would say missed a birth as in I walked in 5 to 10 minutes after the baby was born because we were the first on scene. Like baby just came too fast. But I have never either had completely missed a birth. But we do have backup services between each other. We also have connections outside of that. We have people that we know all the way out to like McHenry and Wonder Lake. We serve service out to like Freeport. I've gone all the way out to Sterling.
Wow.
So we have people that if we need to, we can always get somebody there.
So so I guess in other words, if someone says, call you up 3 a.m. in the morning, I'm having doubts, I don't think I can do this, it's too hard. Are you guys available for that situation? Would you show up and talk them through it, or how
Like
would you?
if she's going into labor?
No, she's not going to. She's freaking out. It's pre-labor, whatever.
If the phone woke me up, yes.
Yeah, definitely.
If the phone woke me up, my phone isn't on. I have it connected to for birthing. It's connected to my Amazon Alexa,
Yeah.
and that thing echoes through my whole house. I'm not missing a birth.
Yeah.
But if I'm not on call, then it's just my regular call. But if they call and I wake up, I will be there and I will answer. I will answer them at 6 o'clock in the morning when I wake up, and I will see if they're still awake.
Wow.
Absolutely.
So it takes a lot of sacrifice. It sounds like a lot of energy can be involved. in this.
Definitely.
Do you guys ever get emotionally?
Commitment.
Yeah. Do you ever get emotionally drained from it though? Do you ever feel like, oh my god?
I think it surged me.
it energizes.
Really? Yes, absolutely.
Wow. So
I feel, watching a mom take a moment to herself to even do the simplest things, like I said, taking a shower, sitting with her legs folded, going through her phone is amazing.
She can relax.
She can relax.
I had a mom I worked with September of last year, so a little over a year ago. And she told me that this was her second birth. Her first birth, it took her 4 weeks just to brush her hair and brush her teeth. She could not get
was
up.
it because of
Just postpartum depression and
Depression.
anxiety and
Okay.
the stress and just everything. She wasn't doing the bare minimum to take care of herself, including just brushing her hair. So the fact that I had her in the shower by day 2 and we were brushing our hair and brushing our teeth, she said she felt so much better. She was getting sleep. She was doing all the things differently than what happened on her first. It's empowering. It's
Yes,
really cool.
it is.
Because
You guys
it's
make
not
it-
even for us. It's like, it's empowering to watch them be able to be the best version of
Sounds
Absolutely.
like it sounds like you make a big difference for them.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
absolutely can.
Yeah, it
We
sounds like
absolutely
it.
can. And then some of those cases, like some of the moms have family members or moms that's telling them, like, that would tell them postpartum is not a thing. So us being there
Yeah.
is a lot of support. You know,
Do you see a lot of that? A lot of postpartum with births now. You probably see it a whole lot more with the younger people. You think,
I think
or-
no. I think people get it mixed up with being in survival mode. Survival mode versus postpartum. Like I've heard some moms. I guess everybody don't have to have dealt with it, but I feel like it's definitely a thing. But I think sometimes the moms don't even recognize if they're still on survival mode versus they're dealing with postpartum.
Okay.
And the thing to really note, postpartum depression can rear its head anytime in
Anytime.
the first 2 years.
Yes.
Okay.
So baby could be a year and a half old, and
Yep.
you can still be suffering from postpartum depression.
Wow. Do you guys kind of prepare parents and tell them stuff like this ahead of time? You could possibly experience a downside after the birth.
Yes.
Because like you said, it energizes you. So I can see that big boost when you're having the baby. Then after all that's done and now things back to normal, like all the excitement's just gone. I guess, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't.
I talk about the families that hire me. I have handouts that I give them, and like we talk a lot. We talk a lot. I have so many things where if something starts coming up, or just in casual conversation, oh, you mentioned X, Y, Z. I'm going to bring this and just leave it for you. Sometimes we go over those together. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to leave this for you to review whenever.
Yeah.
But those are things that are definitely, I know Mamisha mentioned that she suffered from it. I suffered from it. So it's one of those things that hits a little closer to home. So definitely something that's talked about.
So what is the biggest difference between, even if there is a difference, I know, between a birthing coach and a doula? Is there a difference, or is they kind of like the same thing, just
I mean,
one is more detailed, or?
well, usually a birth doula is there with mom doing birth, and maybe stay like an hour after,
I normally stay about 2 until mom gets to the recovery room. But
and then that's about it for the birth doula. So the care after that is postpartum.
So what does a birthing coach do, or birth coach, or what do you call it?
I wish there was like a defined definition for these things, because a lot of those lines get blurred between people.
Yeah.
My idea of a birthing coach is somebody that really focuses on coaching you through the birthing piece, giving you positions that you can go in. And I think it's more teaching you while you're prenatally. For as a doula, they're going to be right there with you. They're going to be more hands-on support. They're going to be the ones doing your pressure points. They're going to be ones moving your hips. They're going to be holding your hair. They're going to be massaging your shoulders and holding the fan.
On the fan.
So like I feel like doula is just a little bit more personal and a little bit more one-on-one, and we're also a little bit more flexible, because if things change, we are changing right there with it. We're very fluid as things move, where I feel like a birthing coach, in, again, my personal definition, because everybody's definition is different, in my personal definition is more like they're training you, but they're not actually there. So they're a little bit more rigid, and they're not as personal and not right there. I think it's more that difference, at least in my thoughts.
Okay. So I guess, I'm thinking, and then I'm still trying to draw this connection. You guys help me out, okay? Is a midwife the same as a doula? I'm still stuck on that.
No.
Absolutely
What
not.
is the difference between a midwife and a doula?
A
Because I'm still
midwife
stuck
is
on that.
medically trained. So doulas are not medically trained.
Okay.
Midwife is like they go through an entire like medical school almost. So they will bring like almost like a toolbox of medications and all the stuff for emergencies.
Okay.
If you're having blood clots or anything like that, they have all of the training for that. They're extremely intelligent, medically trained personnel. They are right up there with OBs, like.
I always thought a midwife was just a lady who knew how to deliver a baby.
No.
They are.
I don't know anything about any special training. I didn't know they did that.
Trained.
They are fully medically trained.
Okay.
They're
Okay.
right up there with. They are pretty much obese in that
Yeah.
sense. They are like the doctor of the delivery.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
So we are non-medical support.
Wow.
But they are the ones that are actually catching the baby and handling any emergencies.
Oh, I did not know that. Jeez, thanks
So
for
with home care, with
clear
a home
that up. I
birth-
appreciate it.
Right.
Sorry, I got a little intense on that one. Don't get mad.
Yes, they're totally different. Yeah.
I see that. Yeah.
But like for a home birth, usually a mom she hires a midwife and a doula.
Oh, so you guys kind of work hand in hand. You work with
We work
midwives as
together.
well.
Yes.
Is there such thing as a delivery nurse? Or would that be the midwife, or?
Delivery nurses are one, if you're in the hospital, there normally isn't a midwife unless you're specifically requesting. Some hospitals have midwives on staff. But if you have an OB, then you are going to have like a delivery nurse. And then delivery nurse can be in the hospital with your midwives too. They're a little less hands-on normally.
Okay.
But they would be in the hospital setting, yes.
So, because like when I hear about the doula, I study a lot of history, of course, and I go back to, for example, in ancient Egypt, when they used a thing called the birthing stool. Where you would, do you guys do stuff like that?
Yep, I got one in my garage right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and that's what I thought midwives were kind of like the people who did those kind of things, So how many different? This may sound crazy, but I'm a guy. How many different? I know there's only one way to have a child, but
No, it's
baby.
not.
Unlimited.
No,
There's
it's
no
not.
number. No, I'm like, yes, it comes
It comes out.
Right? Yeah, that's
But
one
what
way.
position- different.
unlimited. You
There's
could-
different positions.
No.
Do tell, because I know about the birthing stool. I know
Yeah.
like the supine position, but what other?
On all fours.
However, mama's comfortable,
Yes.
wherever she
Really?
wants to be.
Yes.
Wow.
Wherever she wants to be. Actually, from what I've experienced, the least comfortable is laying on your back with your feet up like the doctors want you to, because
And
you're
I
going
think
against
that's
gravity.
right.
You're going against gravity.
Well, and that's why they did the birthing stool, because it was supposedly you could just,
Yeah.
it
That's our culture thing.
falls right out. Too.
That's our culture thing. Having women have babies laying on their back, which goes against gravity. It doesn't even make sense if you think about it.
Why don't you say, when you say our culture, you mean America?
Yes,
or
America.
This hemisphere?
Yes, America.
Because I don't think it's practiced. Well, I don't know, because I'm not a doctor, and maybe
Well,
it
we
is.
in America, so
Yeah, so
they teach one position,
and that was it.
and that's
huh?
on your back. Yes.
And it is the easiest for emergencies for the doctor. Doctor can see
For a
better.
C-section, something like that.
Like if a bleeding or hemorrhage type thing happens, they can have their light. It's easier.
It's
It's
easier,
just it's
yeah.
harder on mom. So
Do you think that if women were able to, I mean, are they able to choose the position they want to be in?
Yeah, if they're informed.
depends on
If they're informed. So
Yes.
like
depends on your doctor.
Yeah, your
Depends on the
doctor.
doctor.
I had a birth in 2017. It was one of my first hospital deliveries, and I will never forget it. Mom was in the hospital, hugging the back of the stool, or like the table, like on her knees, holding the chair. Like her knees are where your butt normally would be.
Yeah.
And she's holding it, and she was crowning, and the doctor walked in, looked at her, looked at the nurse, and said, "I have a placenta to deal with," and left. And Dad and I ended up catching the baby because there was no doctor and the nurse's jaw was on the floor. So, yes, you can, as long as you're informed or you have a supportive doctor, you can birth in any position.
So-
you
Definitely
want.
supportive doctor.
So I'm wondering then. So would some of those positions maybe prevent C-sections, or are C-sections something medical or physical?
They can
thing?
be.
Okay. Will different positions help prevent it sometimes, maybe, or not?
Lessen the risk, yes.
It'll lessen the risk. Okay.
And if they let the birth happen, hospital rushes so often.
Oh, they rush you through the birth? I don't.
Yes, it can be rushed.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. See, I trust doctors.
I trust doctors.
I do too.
But I also trust my body.
Yes, absolutely.
So you know when it's not working the way they
I
want
mean,
it to.
our bodies was naturally made to give birth. So if we take the time and let our bodies do what it's supposed to do, if there's no other complications, that takes time.
So
And they don't they don't like that.
So is there any, and you guys probably won't do any of this stuff, pre-counseling to prevent, or not to prevent, but to have young ladies be more informed about getting pregnant, about giving birth? Do you guys have a program where you like maybe reach out and go to schools or talk to kids about stuff like that?
We personally
I would like
haven't,
to.
but
We haven't,
we've
but
talked about
we
it.
have talked about it.
We've also gone to the Pregnancy Care Center. We've given talks to their staff.
Yeah.
So we've talked to them, and they deal with, again, not as much pre-pregnancy, but they are definitely a community resource where a lot of teen girls and stuff will go. So we've informed their staff and worked with them. And then in my current position that I also work, I've been able to do it a little bit more individually with some of my teen families.
All right, yeah, that's good.
But that's not something as an organization, anything organized. It is something we've talked about wanting to do,
Okay.
and doing some childbirth education and stuff like that. But we just
Yeah.
haven't gotten that started yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that, having a huge impact.
impact definitely.
What do you guys kind of like monitor miscarriage rates, abortion rates? You guys
I
kind
used
of
to
monitor that,
I
or
don't
haven't.
watch them as much anymore.
would that be something you would it be? Would it be important to you guys to do that? I wonder, because I think if you have an idea of what could possibly go wrong, would that inspire you to be more apt to tell people, hey, this is what you want to avoid, this is how you're going to do this, here's the advice.
Well, miscarriages can happen for any reason, and a lot of the time you don't know why. So that's not something. Just knowing the numbers would not help, like being able to prevent them.
So we don't have a breakdown of miscarriages, though. I mean, I understand it can happen for any time,
Yeah,
any
and
reason,
most of
but
the time they're not reported because a lot of them happen early on. If a miscarriage happens before 24 weeks, the hospital will not do anything to try to save that baby. 24 weeks is the date of viability, so that's when hospital intervention can help. But a lot of the times, if it's early enough on that it'll pass on its own, a lot of time mothers will not go in unless there's a complication where they're getting sick because something did not fully pass or something along that line. But a lot of the time, those are not even reported.
so when let's say if a lady did do that and she had a miscarriage, and it's been, you can still experience postpartum
Postpartum,
from
absolutely,
that, right?
absolutely.
So it's been say 2 months and she's going through things. Will she? Can she come to you guys, or should she come to you guys?
Absolutely.
So what kind of advice would you give her? What would you talk to her?
That's where the bereavement side of things comes
Okay.
in. That's the grief training. And a lot of the time, it's more. I'm not a certified counselor. Future goals, but it's more of that counseling piece, talking through. It's not about what happened or that they did anything wrong, but just learning to continue to live your life and not letting that stop you, and just that counseling side of things. But it is a loss, and we validate that loss.
Right.
That was something you wanted, and we don't pretend it didn't happen. We don't
Right.
sweep it under the rug. If we validate it, and if it involves doing something like one of my best friends actually supported on her miscarriage not too long ago.
Well, they can actually come to you guys,
Yes.
though. They can call you up.
Yep.
Now, you guys have an email. You have Facebook. Is there a number listed on there they can call you guys if they needed to, or
Like
It's-
individually?
or for your organization? I'm
Oh
sorry. not
no, when you
individual.
go on the website, everything is on there.
Yeah, but we don't have an individual or an organization phone number at this time,
No.
because we don't have an office. But I do a 30-minute consult, and then I send like a little packet afterwards,
Okay.
and in that packet has my personal cell phone number, so those clients can reach out to me at that time. But it's not open on the public website at this time.
Because I think there's or companies out there where you can actually get a phone number for a business, and you don't have to have an office. It could be a virtual number, and you all can share that number. You just got to find out who it is and where it's at. So the biggest question, well, maybe not the biggest question, but it's got to be a question you got to ask: how do you get paid for this, or do you guys get paid for this?
Absolutely.
So even though we have a big heart, we want to help, we still want to give.
Absolutely.
No, I'm kidding. So how do you guys get paid for this? Is it certain services cost certain fees, or
Private pay.
is there a set fee though, or
Yeah, usually it's set free.
There's a set fee, but I also work on a sliding scale.
Yeah.
So does
Okay.
Michaela, so
Yes.
does Amisha.
now when you
Yes,
say,
I do this. Yeah, I do the same.
so how does a sliding scale work?
Families in crisis, if you're looking at lower income or single family, I don't think that should be something that stops you. A lot of the time, the lower income families are also the ones who need the education the most.
Exactly.
They have the least amount of services, so I don't want a fee to be
Yeah,
the
you don't
reason
wanna-
that you
yeah.
stop.
Yeah.
So I'm willing to work on a sliding scale. Michaela's actually completed where she can accept Medicaid,
Okay.
like state insurances, Blue Cross, Molina, things like that. I've gotten the initial certification from the state that I can, but I haven't finished through each individual insurance because you got to go through all the process. It takes like 6 to 9 months. Michaela has finished, so our organization can accept state insurance for low-income clients.
Now when you say you're talking about the state line birth,
Yep. Michaela can do birth for, and that she's part of State Line Birth Keepers.
State
So
line birth. I got to
yeah,
remember that
I know.
state line birth. keeper.
Yeah.
But yeah, so any low income families that have state insurance can be accepted through us. And then Michaela would be the one to take them because she's finished.
Okay.
But I am working on mine. I believe Amisha's working
Yes,
on hers
correct.
also. So that hopefully all three of us here in the future would be able to just take state insurance. We also accept HSA accounts. So if most jobs offer you an HSA.
Now what's an HSA?
A health savings account.
Okay.
So it's normally a service that your employer will provide for you. Like some jobs, the job will put in, or people put in off their paychecks, and they can only be used for medical things. Like
Yeah.
as you get older, a lot of people use it when they're older. But
You
that
can
is
buy
something-
medicine with it and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So that's something doulas are covered under that, so you can use an HSA card.
Oh.
And then we also do private pay. So clients who just want to pay out of pocket, or of course.
Okay. So is there a set fee then, or like I know you use a sliding scale, but let's say the person's financially able to handle the amount? I mean, for example,
For which service?
Yeah.
see, that's okay.
we offer a lot.
So let's say you're going to be initial doula. You're going to go in. You're going to just be there during the birth, and you may stay there. What, an hour, 2 hours?
So,
You charge per hour,
No,
or
no.
just a set
It's a
fee?
set fee, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So it's for most doulas, it's right around $800 to $1,000. It can go down for new doulas. The cheapest I've seen is around $400. And the more trained you are, I have seen them go up to $2,500 to $100 to $3,000. But most doulas, especially in our area, you're going to find them around that $1,000 mark.
okay.
And that would normally cover 2 prenatal visits, and those we would go over pamphlets with you. We'd go over education with you. We talk about your birth plan. We talk about what you're hoping for. We'd answer questions, and we can also talk about things that are ideas for your birth. If there's smells that help calm you, or that we can talk about those pressure points, positions to get you in. There's been like the meditation type things you can practice while we're in those visits. And we talk about all those. If you have a partner, we help educate them and teach them those things in those prenatal appointments, so that while we're in the birth, yes, we're there for help and support, but the partner can be the partner. So we'll step in when we can. So a lot of that education is done in the prenatal period while mom is still pregnant. And then we're on call. And we're on call for normally about a 4-week span, plus, if something happens. And then we try to be there for the entirety of the birth. If the birth is lasting a really, really long time, of course, if we need to go take a quick nap or a lunch break or something like that, we will try to sneak out, but we try to time that based off of where she is in labor if we need to push through. And then I personally stay, if it's a hospital or home birth, it's normally about a 2-hour mark afterwards. And that would help mom get through that recovery stage, help that first latch, get that baby feeding, make sure everything is stable. And then normally at least one postpartum visit, we will supply with dinner. We'll sit down and talk about how things are going. And if there's any education or anything postpartum that you need, without hiring a postpartum doula, or having those supports
So
too.
a lot of services are in that.
Just that
initial
one,
package, sounds like it.
just a birth. Yes.
So I guess then the question comes: if you're in the house and you're giving this advice, and it is advice, right? Are you legally protected from them or someone saying, "Well, you told me to do this, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, and it's all your fault"? Are you guys legally protected too, though, or?
Usually we sign a contract.
So it's a contract you use?
Yes, we do have contracts, and it is specifically put in there that we are not medically trained. We are not your medical staff.
Okay.
So, and I make sure I never give my opinions and I never tell you what to do.
Yes.
My job is to talk to you about what you want and going through pros and cons of every choice that you are making to make sure that these are your informed decisions and this is what you want.
Okay. Oh man, whew, there's a whole lot going on here today.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm so
no,
sorry.
no, I don't because I think one of the things that SkoCity is all about. SkoCity is just a term for Rockford. That's all it really means. It means the Let's Go City, and I want to bring information awareness to the city of Rockford. I want the people in Rockford to know you can get some help. You don't have to. You're not alone. It's
You're
okay
not.
not to be okay,
Absolutely.
right? It's okay to reach out and get some help. And I think what you guys doing, man, this is pretty awesome, man. So what happens? I guess when I know that things can happen out of nowhere, right? But what happens when you have it all planned out and there's no indication that something's gonna happen, but then all of a sudden it does, and you're in the labor room all of a sudden, and then it's just not the way.
Like a river, you flow. You
Yes,
move with it. You
you move
adjust.
with
If
it,
the mama's got to
absolutely.
do it and the daddy's got to do it, and then we got to do it too. We adjust, and then you
adjust.
do it on the fly. And if it's something that you don't know about, you take a bathroom
Take a
break
minute
and
and
you
go
go and you
find
research and you
yes.
find the pamphlets and you sit down so
Absolutely.
you can sit down with mom and you are the calm voice. Okay, we got this information. Now here are our options, and here's the pros and the cons for our options. And we're gonna take a few minutes to breathe through this, and we're gonna make an informed decision on what you want going forward.
Okay, so you're there before the birth, right?
When they call
When
us.
they call
When they
us.
call it. So let's say they're in the hospital and they give you a call, or if they're at home, they give you a call. And when you go in the home, do you guys give them a system with breathing, massaging, stuff like that, or
All of that.
Yep.
Breathing, massaging.
do they have to ask you for it, or you automatically know what to do when you get in there, or Can you kind of like
It
sense
depends.
it?
Both.
Yeah.
We, as I said, we talk about some of it prenatally, so we know they can ask for certain things. But sometimes mom is on her hands and knees and she is struggling, and we're like, okay, we're going in, we're doing this, let's go, and we just start doing.
So you know what they need and pretty much
We
how.
start trying. We go to our first go-tos of what we think, and if those don't work, we adjust and we go to the next. We bring a whole. I have a whole little rolling cart of all of my little tools that comes with me, and grab out what I need.
So now I'm going to ask both of you this question one at a time, though. I don't care who goes first.
Okay.
Your very, very first doula experience, how was it? The very first time, though. You did all your training, you talked about it, but now you're in there. How was it? What was it like?
I felt empowered.
You felt empowered?
I didn't stumble. I was connected with mom.
No, you wasn't nervous or?
I was not nervous.
Really?
Because I'm used to taking care of people.
I was nervous until I walked through the door and saw her, and at that moment, your caregiver instincts immediately take over. There was no fear
Absolutely.
anymore.
So
I didn't.
okay.
I was terrified driving to her house. I was wondering if I was going to be good enough, if I was going to know what to do in the moment, if I was going to second guess things.
Because like when I started my job, we have to interview people, right? And I'm thinking, man, how in the world am I gonna, we went through all this training, but then it came the day that I had to actually do it.
Yeah.
And man, it was different than all the training I ever had, So I'm still learning interviewing techniques now, So sometimes, well, not now, but my first ever investigation, I think I was more nervous than the person was. So you guys never forget that? You get that kind of?
I did not get that.
You didn't get that,
I
huh?
went in and mom was starving. She was hungry. I'm like, I got you.
So you want to start cooking food?
We was in a hospital.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I got you. Let's figure this out. And everything else kicked in, from the massaging, the fan.
So natural instincts. Huh?
Yes, going to the other end. Sis, you can do this. Push.
Okay, so I got a crazy. But you were a little nervous though, right?
Until I walked in the door.
So you walked in on you.
I actually went to the woman's home. She was in an apartment complex, and she already had two littles running around. And dad was trying to take care of the littles, and mom was on her hands and knees in the living room floor. And I was terrified until I walked in the door and saw this woman on her hands and knees while everybody else was running amok throughout her house. And I said, okay, we're here. Let's go.
Right.
And then everything went out the window. I was like, okay, this woman needs me, and you're just going to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this argument that whatever a man can do, a woman can do, right? Mm-hmm. So I want to pose the argument: whatever a woman can do, a man can. Is there any men doulas?
There are.
They are.
They're few and far in between, but there
Yes,
are.
They are.
Wow.
I follow someone on Facebook.
It's a male doula.
Yeah, he's a black man too.
Really? Mm-hmm. I wouldn't know the first thing about it, other than, hey, I don't want to see this. I'm getting out.
No,
you know
he
what I mean?
does. Yeah, it is. That's why when I seen his page, I started following him and looked at his videos.
Is he here in Rockford too?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this is awesome. Different.
Is there a doula connection for you guys in Rockford? I mean, other than your organization, do you know other doulas? And stuff like
There is another organization similar to ours, and there's a lot of independent doulas locally.
wow.
The Birth Center at North Point does Meet the Doula Days.
Okay.
I want to say once every quarter, roughly, and I
Okay.
think there's close to 10 different tables of doulas that come, and they range all the way up. I think Janesville is the farthest away that has come, but all the way from McHenry to DeKalb, I think, and we all come and we sit at tables, and moms and families can walk through and meet
ask
us and talk,
questions.
and take cards, and then they can interview and talk. So yeah, there's a lot of independent doulas, as well as I know of the two organizations that are collective like us and one other one.
Well, I mean, I'm just really super duperly impressed by. I mean, I wanted to know about the doula stuff since I've heard about it, and I think we were talking about it the other day, right?
Yeah.
And that's how this came about because
Yeah.
we said we want to sit down and talk about
Yeah.
it. And so I started doing a little bit of research. I had all these questions I wanted to ask you guys. Are doulas typically, and you may not be able to answer this question, but from your perspective, though, are doulas typically high energy people though? Because you seem like you're pretty high energy to me.
I think so.
You think so?
I don't, maybe not.
I would say it's about 50-50.
Yeah.
I can't see you going there and him being low energy. I just can't see that though.
No, but that's what some people need, because you're walking into a calm birthing space, and you want somebody who's calm and you're peaceful. And not every situation is like, okay, let's go. Some of them are like, okay, mom is breathing, and the aromatherapy's on, and the candles are lit.
Okay.
We're just gonna come in here, we're gonna massage, and we're gonna use some oil, and we're just gonna breathe.
Calm and confident.
And like, yes, I can be that too, but that's not my natural state.
Right.
But yeah, and I have come across doulas of every single one I think I've met is a little bit different.
So, okay, speaking of that,
Yes.
what is your doula style?
Oh goodness. Our organization as a whole is definitely more on the natural end of things. We will support moms doing whatever. I have supported epidurals. I've supported C-sections. I have supported all of those things. But I know as a whole, we're more known for the natural side of things. We do more home births than the other organizations. We do, I know I personally don't do free births, but Michaela and Amisha both do free births, which we discussed. And those are the other organizations. I don't know many who do. Some of the independents do. We have the certified herbalist on staff. We do more of the placenta type stuff on staff. And then we do different community events that are like monthly to quarterly that we all get together, and we do more naturally minded, just community building. But yeah, it's all of us are a little bit different.
So what's your doula style like?
It's about the same. My thing is doing it as natural as we can. Like I stated earlier, our bodies was made to give birth naturally, and I feel like if most of the time when a woman is giving birth, her confidence level go down. So I feel like we play a part in
It's her
supporting, yes, and letting her know, like, Mom, you got this, you can do this. Like, we're gonna take our time, but we can do this. So that's basically yeah.
Okay, so we're getting down to the nitty gritty. We got to wrap it up here, and I've enjoyed this conversation. And just closing, I'll give you both an opportunity to talk a little bit more about the doula experience and how you feel about it, how you came about to do it. Just to wrap it up real quick. So we'll start with you, because I think we started. Who did we start with at the beginning?
I think it was me.
Okay, so we'll start with you now.
Okay. Well, again, I've been doing this for 11 years, and I really focus on the postpartum.
What's your name again?
I'm Jenna. Sorry, Jenna Fitzgerald. Hey, how are you? But I've been doing this for almost 11 years, and I really, really want to focus. I focus on the postpartum piece and the bereavement more than anything. I believe a lot of the doulas locally are wonderful humans, and they can support women through the birth. I have a harder time with my personal life to be on call. I will do on occasion, but mostly I love being able to be there for those first moments and make sure moms feel confident and start on the right foot, where they don't feel like they are struggling from the start and they just don't know how to move forward. So getting them those community resources and getting them that support in their home and making sure they're slept and they ate and they're clean and they have all the things that they can feel like they can do this. They have that confidence that Amisha mentioned, that they know they can do this, because we got a long 18 years for each one of those babies, and even after that, you're still doing it. So we need to start off on the right foot.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You want to have anything to say?
My name is Amisha Carpenter. I do birth and postpartum, but postpartum actually is where my heart is, because I struggle so much with it, and it was not a thing, but it really is a thing. I'm here to give support, educate, empowerment, all those things.
All right, sounds good. Well, I want to thank both of you guys for being on SkoCity podcast. Guys, listen, if you guys both have Facebook pages too, right?
Yes.
And then there's also the State Line Birth Keepers.
Yes.
So you guys want to look that up on Facebook, and if you got any questions, you need any assistance with giving birth,
Absolutely.
State Line Birth Keepers is the way to go.
Gotcha.
So once again, I want to thank both of you guys for being on SkoCity podcast, and
Thanks for having us.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
We are done.
Okay. Well,
Thank you.
Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much.